Welcome to OTS fans, everybody. It is me, your temporary host, Kristen, C. Rob, Chris, whatever you want to call me. Just don't mess it up. We also have here your other co-host, Derrick, spelled the black way, Myers, and Janine Berry, the person who waved at you. And if you just look, you can't see that. Let's go get into today's episode.
Yes, sir. What's going on?
What's good, everybody?
I'm cooking these oxtails for the first time, and I'm hoping I don't mess up.
Yeah,
I just have a really strong feeling.
Hoping to.
Yeah, I have a really strong feeling you're going to be okay with it. I feel like because you're in science, you're already very detailed. You probably got like the right seasonings in there. Like you're going to be fine.
Yeah, like I doused it with like fresh, like minced garlic. Well, I ain't gonna say fresh, but minced garlic, the allspice. I ain't had no stock, so I threw some milk in there, right? To make it a little creamy after I trimmed the fat off. You know what I mean? Got the thyme, rosemary. I ain't got no real herbs de Provence, but I made a little something shake. I got it simmering on the stove, running my gas bill up, so I think we'll be all right.
Yeah. All right, man. We're gonna discuss some this is the first episode of the new season of Fanz where we're coming back, bringing the battles back to you guys as well this year, because we know we took a year off last year with everything and just trying to revamp the show and everything like that. But we're going to get into discussing what we've been listening to and what we're also looking forward to coming out this year. Before we get into all that, we just want to remind you guys real quick to follow us on all social media platforms at OTS Media Co. OTS Media on YouTube. Subscribe, hit that like button and notification bell if you haven't done so already. You can find this show and other shows on the OTS network on our YouTube and anywhere you get your podcasts as well. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into it, guys. What y'all been listening to?
I'll go first. I'll go first. Well, so here's the thing, right? I feel that I've not been very receptive to new music for whatever reason. I just have not wanted to listen to any new projects per se. But I will say, like, I've just been revisiting a lot of the albums and the artists that I don't know, I was in love with in my younger years, like early 20s. And so I was listening to a lot of Day 26. I think y'all sleep on them. They're amazing. Well, the first album, the other two wasn't really a fan of. But I listened to a lot of Day 26. I listened to Travis Scott's entire discography. Like I'm talking mixtapes, every single album, front to back. I also listened to every single Drake album. And I don't know if y'all saw You People, but one of the things was she asked Jonah like what Drake phase did he feel like he was in. I think I'm in my reading this it is too late phase, because that album was just speaking to me on a different level.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's just kind of what I've been doing. I've just been revisiting a lot of my old stuff.
Wow. Yeah, I've actually been listening to a couple of new artists. One in particular is Alex Vaughn. I didn't know about her, but I saw something on Instagram that was like detailing some new R&B artists, and she was like the first or second one that they had on their posts, and I started listening to one of these songs, and I'm like, okay, I got hooked. So I just went through some of her stuff, and she's got an amazing voice. So yeah, I mean her, of course, Ari Lennox, all of the Dreamville cast, obviously, for sure. But
obviously, naturally,
right?
Yeah, obviously, that's obvious. Y'all know that. Actually, Mariah's been playing a lot of her playlists a lot when we're driving. So there's some stuff that I'm starting to hear that I never heard before. Never paid attention to Division, honestly, either. Like I never.
What?
I just never did.
Yeah.
Just honestly, never did.
Oh, can I do a quick interjection, real? For anybody that ain't listened to Division before, my personal recommendation is check out their Tiny Desk concert.
Okay.
That'll pretty much give you all you need to know because,
Yeah,
man,
I'm gonna go back because there's I know I've been missing some of this, of course, everything from them, but I've been missing out on some other artists as well. But no, she played that for me, some of the stuff this over this weekend, and I couldn't get it out of my head. So yeah, I mean, I'm gonna go through that some of this stuff, and you know, because I'm in a real R&B kick right now.
Mm-hmm.
So it's necessary go through that stuff. Another one, Damani, Ti son. I've I've been talking about him for the last year and a half now, and
this is
Chris
true.
about almost Chris almost like I felt like he was about to come through the phone when I said this. Damani
Oh,
is
I know what you want to
more
say.
talented as an artist, more talented than Ti is already.
I think that's
Already,
fair.
yeah. He's got a neo soul R&B like rap mix. And I've never heard that particular mix before.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
On that level. Yeah, I haven't heard that. Like the way he does it, his style is kind of it's just a little different. It's a little
Okay.
different, and I like that. So yeah, I mean the other son can't rap for anything, but this guy, Damani is money.
I have
So
a, I have
I'm
a few
with it.
follow-up questions, if I may.
Yes.
Okay, so first and foremost, isn't it amazing to have a partner or a friend or a buddy, whatever you want to call them, to where like they put you onto new music, and it almost becomes like a love language. Like it's so cool to like send
Yeah.
songs back and forth or send playlists back and forth. You're like, okay, you're
Yeah.
better than I thought you were. I think that's
Yeah.
cool. But you were saying that Mariah playing a lot of her playlists, you were introduced to like Alex di- 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 division. So with her kind of introducing you to these new artists, are you kind of not feeling so much of R&B is dead? Because I remember that was a conversation we had last year
We
where you felt like
did.
R&B really wasn't as prevalent as it should be.
Not so I meant that on the mainstream level is it's dying, right? Because like
Okay.
mainstream artists are not what we're hearing as R&B on the mainstream level is not what it used to be.
Mm-hmm.
But underground for sure is it's alive and well. It's just you got to go find it, and I'm actually hoping that with independent artists getting more shine, that will get R&B on that mainstream level where it needs to be because it never died. It never died. It just kind of went into hiding
I was really
a
hoping you
little
wasn't
bit.
gonna say it didn't die, it multiplied.
Oh no, no, I'm not. Look, I'm corny, but I'm not that corny, bro.
I'm that corny, so I was waiting on
I'm fine with saying I'm corny, bro. I don't care about that. Look,
it.
I think that I think R&B is alive and well. I just think that it has like it's evolved in certain ways, so it sounds a little different in certain ways as well. But I love it. I love it, and I think when you have artists on the mainstream level like Ari Lennox, that's getting more shine as well. I think that's kind of putting it in people's minds of like going and finding out who these artists are.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean, yeah, no, Mariah's been she's been playing playlists for me since we went on our first date. So,
Probably why
you
you was
know.
in love so damn fast. Like
Hey, listen, don't judge.
I'm not judging. I think it's beautiful. But to totally piggyback off of your Ari Lennox comment, I didn't
Mhm.
mention because I guess technically the album came out last year, but I was on
Yeah.
SZA heavy still like the first two
Oh,
months of
yes.
the year, and she has
Yeah.
found so much success out of this last album. I'm just so happy to see it for her.
Yeah,
Yeah.
y'all
No,
awesome.
I'm happy. I think SZA's been is doing her thing too. So like R&B is not gone. I think the R&B where guys were just like doing this in the rain, that's
Yeah, that's
gone.
over.
Like
Yeah,
that's
we
over.
got to get
That
over that.
era is over. Well, why not bring it back? Like I actually think Mario's bringing it back.
I don't need you to inside dancing in the rain. I don't need boy bands and inside of color coordinated outfits anymore, but I do want to feel like men are actually in love with women again. Because R&B has pretty much been like a lot of toxic, like, yeah, like we're together, but not really, or we're just kind of smashing, but like I'm not in love for real. Like I want people to like I want to feel like you're fighting for love again, and that's not happening.
And it's intimacy. It's a level of intimacy that's not in
Yeah.
R&B music from the male artists. Not as prevalent as it used to be. So yeah, it doesn't it because you started. Well, a lot of R&B artists started trying to, or the male ones at least, started trying to do more or incorporate more rappers into their music, and it just kind of it sucks. Like, I mean, not that it sucks, but it sucks.
I
But I
mean,
feel
you gotta sell, right? Because that's
Yeah.
the thing, right? Toxicity is the new wave, right? It's
Yes.
kind of
Yeah.
like when Trump got elected and people was like, "Oh, shoot, we can be racist in public again." It's like once the like toxic R&B came out, it was like, "Yo, I can say this and not get in trouble for it." Yo, people
yeah,
like applaud me. I can get
yeah.
paid for this. Like, and that's
Yeah.
it is now. Like a lot of these folks talking that cash money, they ain't really got that. You know what I'm saying? I
Yeah.
Yeah.
don't think these folks really that toxic. They just no folks gonna buy it, man.
But to
Yeah. But
piggyback
that's my
off of,
problem with it.
oh,
Yeah.
you go ahead. I was gonna say,
No.
like,
No.
so division, you were saying you were introduced to that team. I feel like they kind of teeter tatter the line of like I am in love and like toxic boys syndrome. Cause I was listening to a
Mm-hmm.
song by them last time featuring Blue. And he was just like, you know, you're doing all this, but when is the last time someone said that they loved you? Or when's the last time someone said that they need you? And I'm just like, ah, oh, you're right. Like women want to hear that still. I don't want to be called a baddie all the time. I want you to tell me you love me and that you need me and you don't want me to leave.
Right. Right. I mean, well, yeah. I think it's music has gotten so toxic in certain areas in terms of the content that there's a sense of vulnerability that's not there anymore. So at least with male artists, so it's I guess hard to make that a mainstream thing now again. But I think that's the problem with what you were talking about, Chris. Like,
Sure.
yeah, it makes money, but when you're talking about the art itself, that's what kills it. When you're just trying to chase money the whole time, you lose touch with what is. So like, now it's like, who's the like baby face of today's generation? You know, or like who's like who's the usher of this generation?
I want to say
Like you
Chris
can't.
Brown. No.
No,
People
Chris
get
Brown.
mad
No,
at
Chris.
me.
He ain't of this generation. He ain't of this
Yeah,
generation.
you're right. He's not of this generation. You're
Nah.
right.
But who are those artists? So I think that's where, to be honest, I think we're getting, when you have that vintage feel like that comes into the mainstream, where things are more vintage and is more popular to be vintage or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I'm waiting for that to come around with music, where it's like, you know what? Let's get back to this for a sec. Let's see what this is like. And then, see what happens. I'm hoping that's what happens, but who knows?
I
I
think
love
that's why
R&B.
we appreciated the Bruno Mars Anderson Pop collab because it
Oh
did kind
my
of give
God.
us that vintage soulful feel.
It felt like
But
that.
but I think you've said this before, like music is just a reflection of the times. And I just feel like we
Mhm.
not singing about love because the way that everybody is operating outside now is like, I'm not looking for love. I'm just looking for something fun. I'm just looking for something for right now. So hopefully in a societal type of way, like that changes and it's cool to be in love again. And once it becomes cool to be in love again, that's when the music is going to shift.
I literally had someone tell me, and this is why I don't know if we're gonna get back to that point. I literally had someone call me lame for being in love and showcasing my woman. I'm like, when did we get to this point where it's lame to actually say you're in love with someone? That doesn't even make sense to me.
Yeah.
You know?
But that's where we are.
That's lame. If that's lame, I'm lame.
Yeah.
I'm fine with it. It's fine.
Be lame.
It's fine.
Be lame and proud.
Yeah.
Like when SpongeBob said he was ugly. Own it, bro. No, just all right. So now I ain't got to send a shady chat message, and I was gonna be like, "When y'all gonna let me go?"
No, I was about to say. So, what have you been listening to, Chris?
I was like,
sorry, went off on a tangent.
Vibing and
yeah, that went on a big tangent.
I do that. I'm sorry. I'm gonna do better with that on this season of Fanz. I'm gonna stop going on tangents, but I'm good at that. Sorry.
No, dude.
Tangents is cool. Y'all just like, yes, it's a R&B emotions, and I'm like, man, I heard a PR listening to Papa Roach last night. my music taste be like everywhere. I don't think I've listened to like one distinct album that I could just like vibe with this year. Which, granted, it's only March. Most of the like fire albums usually come out either in the spring, summer, and fall. That's just how it works. Why? I don't really know. Don't really care, but that's how people drop stuff. So yeah, it's just really been an assortment of music. I've been heavy on Latin music lately. Heavy.
Really?
Like, oh man, yeah, I got my waves. Cause like even some of the songs I put out for like Music Mondays, like I knew of those songs like over a decade ago and been rocking with those artists, but it just felt good to like revisit them. And next thing you know, I find myself just like vibing out to like cats I ain't never heard of, speaking all types of Spanish, and you know, I'm just like in my zone, you know, and it's crazy because you know, LA is like 50% Mexican, or if not Mexican, at least like 50 to 55% of everybody like speaks Spanish as a first language. And man, like a lot of my neighbors don't even speak English. Like in this cul-de-sac that I'm in. So it's sometimes like I done roll through, you know what I'm saying? I'm bumping Bad Bunny and they see me and they're like, huh? Oh, you speak Spanish? Yeah, like shoot, bro. I got a donut today and I went into the shop. Everybody speaking Spanish. Then the chick looks at me and immediately starts speaking English in my order. like, so you assume like I don't know Spanish or something? Like that's kind of messed up, but nah, man, the music be vibing. Like I said, like a lot of my music actually is dictated by the gym. I'm in the gym like 5 days a week. So it's either like the ride to the gym, like am I feeling mellow? Am I feeling hype? What am I checking out? Like am I feeling like bumping some Tina Marie? Or am I gonna bump a little bit of Luther? Then I get into the gym and it legit might be like Royce the 5'9". It'll go into DMX, Jay-Z and 50 Cent. I started listening to Roy Hargrove last night after I like hit my PR, which is, for people who don't know, like Roy Hargrove's one of my favorite trumpet players, and he had a band, the RH Factor. You know what I'm saying? So that's straight up jazz and R&B and neo soul and funk. Like, I literally went from Papa Roach to DMX to Roy Hargrove.
I love it.
That's weird. I mean, in a good
that's what you
in a good way. No, because I'm thinking about like the genres. Like that's how
that's interesting.
Yeah, like I'll be stunned for Music Mondays. Like I legit listen to a lot of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like when I be listening to classical, like I legit will vibe out to like a whole classical suite. So one of my favorite suites is the Planet Suite by Gustav Holst. And my particular favorite like arrangement is Jupiter. So it's like I really be like listening to that, but like my mood may completely switch. Cause this times I'll be chilling in the bed, just like vibing out to like it could be some rap. You know what I'm saying? Like watching Bel Air. I love Bel Air.
So good. And it's not talked about enough. Oh my God.
Yeah.
So
For
good.
real. And like they always have really good music selections, even if it's just a
They
snippet. And it's
Mhm.
like sonically everything hits. And if I ain't heard it before, I'm like, man, let me check this out. So it
Mhm.
might be like 1 in the morning and I'm like playing this song.
Let me ask you about that.
Yeah.
Because of course, y'all know the furthest west I've been is Alabama. So I haven't been to Cali. But the reflection of Bel Air, the reflection of the music in Bel Air, is it safe to say that's how it is in that LA area, Hollywood, and all that stuff,
So
musically, sonically?
LA is interesting. It's one of those cities like you really gotta like visit and kick it in.
Yeah.
As opposed to like just do a visit. Like having lived here the last 2 years, I've done like the minimum amount of touristy things. And not
Okay.
intentionally. I just didn't get around to it because I'm like, oh, I live here. Right. So I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, I don't need to go see Madame Tussauds and do all this stuff. So that allowed me to actually like get connected with the culture. Like I'm
Mhm.
driving in these areas, like I'm kicking it at these parties, you know what I'm saying? I'm linking with people. And that's when I really got to understand like how y'all see in Atlanta. There's a difference between the people who are born there and the transplants,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
then even how they affect the culture. Because
Mhm.
like true LA culture is like smooth. It's so legit. It's so cool. Like the people are like cool as a fan.
Yeah.
But when you start getting these transplants that want to think about like Hollywood, when you
Mhm.
like LA is only like glitz, glam, and dollars, then yeah, that
Mhm.
changes a lot of stuff. You know what I'm saying? That changes like who you're around, what they listen to, how they dress, how they act, because everybody wants to be seen. Everybody wants to be in acting classes and a photographer. And,
Mhm.
it's like you get a big difference in like how stuff is presented to you culturally, musically, like everything. Um,
Okay.
so, like one of my favorite artists of all time, period, is like Dom Kennedy. Like
Mhm.
Okay. Yep.
Dom Kennedy to LA is like I'm trying to think. I don't want to say Louis, but I'll say Dom Kennedy to LA is like Big Crit to Mississippi.
Okay.
You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? So you got like cats like that, but people also don't understand like the makeup of LA. Um,
Mhm.
because the city shape of LA might be the most ugliest. It don't make no type of sense shape I've ever seen for a city. Like LA is shaped like a
I
pork
think you
chop.
sent me that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like no, for real. Like it's like a big chunk here. It's like this super skinny like bridge going down, and then it's like another like chunk here, and then LA is actually split up where there are like islands in the middle of other cities. So it's like you
Oh
might
wow.
have
Okay.
legit like all of these other cities surrounding. In my head is like LA. Like the background is like these other cities. In my head is LA. And it's
Okay.
like, how did y'all do that? But the reason I bring that up too is because these individual cities, even though they're all part of like LA County, they got like their own individual city pride. And so there's like a legit difference. Like people will be like, no, I'm from Inglewood. Well, I'm from Compton. And it's like, y'all
Mhm.
literally right next to each other.
Yeah.
And they
Yeah.
will make it
Yeah.
distinct from me being from Long Beach. Or which valley are you from? Or you're not even from LA. You from the Inland Empire. You from IE. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like and even some of like the folks how they like listen to music or how some of the culture like moves it's different. It's different.
Yeah.
You're gonna see like way more humble folk out here than you see on TV.
That's interesting. No, I gotta get out there because I definitely want
It's
to
dope.
visit. I gotta get out
It's
there to visit.
dope.
Yeah, because I definitely want to taste the food, but also like the music. It's interesting to see what the music scene is like in different places. So
Dope.
yeah,
And I'm gonna
I'm
tell
gonna
you
definitely
now,
come out there.
holla at YouTube and learn the LA two step, which I am so unfamiliar with. And it's like,
The LA two step.
yeah, it's a man, everybody two step out here. But like it's their own thing and it's like they hop and it almost look like they about to start like crip walking, but like they're not. But then like crip walking, even if you're not a crip, is like an acceptable thing out here. So like people just regularly do it too, and it's really
Yeah.
confusing. And like like I was at a Juneteenth celebration. You know what I'm saying? We at Lamert Park, and like Buddy is performing. Buddy. And folks was crib walking. I was confused. And then like one dude, he hits his little hop and starts doing the 2-step, and people out there, they grab hands. They're like, "Hey!" And dude, like, grabs my head, and he's like, "Hey!" And I'm like, "Bro, what is you doing?" And my friend looks at me, he's like, "Doing the 2-step," and I'm like, "The two what?" Like, because I'm shook, because I'm like, bro, I ain't affiliated with nothing. I'm not from
yeah.
I'm out of state. My grandma don't stay here, cause like
I'm neutral.
But like
that's part of the reason why I always say I wanted to learn the crip walk, but I don't want anyone to think anything, so let me not.
I was definitely crip walking in middle school because I was like Snoop like made crip walking like cool for like mainstream. Yeah, but I probably wouldn't crip walk in LA.
Like, if you at a party and you do it for the most part, like for I notice you straight. There are particular areas where it's like same thing in Atlanta. Like, yo, if you go here,
don't do that.
Shouldn't be here anyway. Like, you know what I'm saying? And just certain things like you can wear, you can do, but outside of that, it's like everything else is straight. Like, there's no need to just unnecessarily be afraid unless you you see a church's chicken, question some things. You see a
right. When you see a churches, for sure, that's hilarious, and that's everywhere.
Oh god!
I'm like, look, I've been out here and I've seen a lot of stuff, but I don't know about seeing the church's chicken. I don't think I'll see the church's chicken yet. I don't think I'll find one until I go to like Inglewood or something.
Oh man, that's good, man. Well, all right. So, real quick, let's go ahead and get into it. Then, what are y'all looking forward to musically this year?
So for me, Paramore has already dropped their new album, but like I said earlier, I haven't really been receptive to new music because I hold on to the old stuff so much. So I gave it a quick run through and I was like, I'm not here for it. But I am looking forward to getting into a space where I can really listen to it and digest it and like maybe fall in love again. I was looking up like albums that were coming out or have come out, and I had no idea just because it's not really broadcasted. But apparently, Masego came out with an album March 3rd. I want to listen to that because I love him. I think he's amazing. And Music Soul Child and Hit Boy came out with an album, Victims and Villains. That came out. Oh no, that's coming out tomorrow. So I'm definitely going to listen to that. Right. Music Soul Child and Hit Boy. Yeah. That's coming out March 10th. Black is dropping Valentine March 10th. I'm looking forward to both of those. And that's pretty much it as far as R&B. Things that haven't been announced yet. I'm interested to see if Baby Keem comes out with anything. Just, what is his face? I love Baby Keem. He listen, he does something to my spirit, and I'm here to see what this next EP, album, LP, I don't know the titles and shit, but I'm ready for him to drop something else. I love Baby Keem.
I am too.
At the expense of not losing potential love, partnerships, relationships, and business with the podcast, I'm not going to give my opinion that he's not good. So I want you to continue to enjoy.
Wait.
No, this is Fanz. We talk about music. Why do you not feel like he's good? Let's talk about it. Yeah.
He don't got bars. I haven't heard him like spit anything that was like, yo, this is good. Quite frankly, the only reason I even gave him spins like continually was strictly because of the beats that he had. And Kendrick, like I tried to like listen to Baby Keem, and it was just like, why are you making music?
Okay, so here's the thing. I think we have to accept the fact that like not everybody's gonna be like a lyricist and like dropping bars. Like I totally understand it. Baby Keem isn't like the best lyricist ever, but like the way that he delivers his bars, like I feel like it punches me in the chest, and like
it's the energy.
it's the energy, and maybe it was the album, the Melodic Blue. Maybe it was because he was really talking about his life and his story. I felt like, okay, I'm getting a better understanding of who you are and your story, but it's also over fire beats, and you're also giving me energy. So that's why I'm saying I'm interested to see if his second project delivers that same feeling for me.
Wow, I've never heard anyone say that Baby Keem isn't good. That's a
I've
first.
never heard anybody say with since they like him. It threw me off. It's like
I
somebody
love him.
was like, I want to go to
Wow.
Baby Keem
Why?
concert.
Wow, you were
Yo,
throwing some jabs, huh?
also, okay, I hear my thing. Like, I'm not. First off, I love like deep lyrics, but everything I listen to ain't like super duper deep. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like one artist, like I honestly just been bumping on repeat. Like I love Mo3. That's my guy. He gone way too soon. Like I just legit be cruising down, bumping and I. That's my jam. Anyway, I like listen to a lot of these guys that have, either like middle of the road lyrics, maybe a 7, sometimes like a clever bar here or there. You know what I'm saying? Like Smino, I love Smino. And he actually has clever lines, supremely clever lines, but he's not trying to bar you up the whole song.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's other folks who like are just really good at like storytelling. You know what I'm saying?
So if you can accept that from other artists, why can't you accept that from Baby Keem?
because he's not good. Like I heard, like, if somebody, man, he came out with Family Ties, and the only thing I can remember from that is amazing, brother. Like that stands out more than anything that he said the whole track.
Did you listen to his whole project?
I think I like spun it and was pissed because I wasted time, but I give it another spin.
Please do. It's really good. It's really, really good.
And I'll say this for the folks listening who ain't really familiar with me. One thing I ain't got a problem with is admitting where I'm wrong. I care more about being correct, and I care more about the facts than I do about being correct for the sake of my own pride. So one of my favorite artists is Wale, and that Summer on Sunset. That Summer on Sunset, I completely bashed it. I was like, that jump was trash. It was like super duper regular. I don't know why he dropped that. I hate this and Gangsta Boogie. I was complaining. And one of my best friends, he knows how big of a Wale fan I am. He's like, I don't know, bro. I got it up there as like his best mixtape. I'm like, you capping. He's like, man, give it a spin again. And I cut it on Summer on Sunset again, and I was like, yo, I was tweaking. This joint go hard. Like, why did I not like this up front? So suffice to say,
especially mixtape Wale.
Oh my gosh, yes. So suffice to say, people who are unfamiliar with me, I'll give this Baby Keem a spin, and I will report back to y'all and let y'all know if my opinion changes and he's good. And I'm like, you know what? I messed up. I will let y'all know that.
Please do. I think he's got a solid foundation to build on. I think when I'm listening to him, it's good music to listen to in a car while you're driving in the summertime.
The gym too.
In the gym too. Yeah, yeah. So I mean, that's just where I place him.
And for the both of y'all who like feelings a lot, my guy, my personal favorite R&B artist, and has been for some years now, Eric Bellinger. Everybody, we got to give him way more flowers. Yeah. And it's not because I've been living in LA. Yeah. He's also LA's son. Dude just continuously drop hits. He's like the R&B DeMar DeRozan, and like is a bona fide bucket, and like does it so like stealthily and like doesn't get enough credit for it because he's not like the flash of substance of everybody else or in this market. It's like, yo, Eric B is the man as a lead, as a background, as a feature. He's monster.
Mid range.
Eric B is the mid range assassin, bro. Like I could still bump Eric B for president, and that came out like 7 years ago, and you would think it dropped yesterday. But he also had a like album this year. You know what I'm saying? 1-800 hit easy.
It's unfortunate, but I feel like some people are just better to be like behind the scenes or like doing the writing of the music or just kind of giving a vibe. Like that's kind of like Party Next Door for me. I love Party Next Door, but the hits that he sold off to other people just skyrocketed to a level that it wouldn't have had he done the song. I think a lot of people feel that way about Eric Bellinger. Like, yeah, you're a good person to like write songs for people, maybe like a little bit of background, a little bit of creative direction. But I don't know if I want to see you as like the main artist.
So he's not the star, but he needs to be like the third.
Right. I mean, I'm not saying that for him specific. I'm just saying like in general, there are some people that are just better suited to kind of work the background versus being in the starlight.
That I agree.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I just don't think Eric B gets enough love for whatever reason because he's a fire lead. Like I ain't heard nothing that he missed on. He has great harmonies. You know what I'm saying? He genuinely can sing. Like I saw him sing like when I saw Wale perform last year. And he's like, yo, this one of my boys. We collab a lot. And he brings Eric Bellinger on stage, and Eric like performed a few of his own songs, like in the middle of Wale concert. Like he has authentic vocals, even before like people watching the Tiny Desk with Usher. Like he's that guy. He just don't get the notoriety. Like as I say, he's the DeMar DeRozan of the R&B game. Cole, all-star, is going to be a Hall of Famer, bona fide. It's very legit. Just don't get that love. Everybody would rather talk about streaky old Tatum. Or I'm just playing.
Don't you dare.
Here we go with the basketball references. I'm gonna check out.
No, don't worry. Don't worry. We ain't go down there. We ain't going down there today.
I'm saying if Derrick had to choose, you know, between Mariah, J. Cole, and Jason Tatum, I think he'd have too big of a problem on his hands.
Why would I have a problem on my hands? I'm choosing Mariah 10 times out of 10. Why do I have a problem with my hands?
Oh, something that Jason Tatum can't go. All right, cool. So moving forward. I'm playing. You walked into that one. Bang bang. I'm on fire right now.
Ugh. Whatever, man.
That man said bang bang.
Well, actually, so something I'm looking forward to this year. T-Pain's got an album coming out on top of the covers, which is a full cover album, and I am really looking forward to that. I think that comes out this month, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Janine, you already said it, but Black's album, I'm looking forward to that coming out, and I'm going to throw this out too, just because I really do believe in her. Rihanna, R9. Listen, the way she rubbed her belly at the Super Bowl, I'm believing that something is going to happen.
She's trolling.
Something's going to happen.
She's done with music, bro.
But
I personally think she's got one more.
Oh, she's got 10 more. She's just not going.
No. Yeah, I agree with that too. But I'm saying I think one more that she's going to release, and then that's just going to be it. And I'm holding on to hope.
ASAP putting in work, bro.
Yeah, no, congratulations to him.
She had time to take a rest.
I think it's gonna happen, bro. I think it's gonna happen. I think we're getting that album this year. You know, and this is the first time I've heard her actually like discuss any like possibility of an album was like around the Super Bowl, which, you know, she said it makes sense to she wants to drop it this year, and it makes sense to. She would hate that if it didn't come out this year. So I'm holding on to every bit of hope that we get one more, and we might not get it, but I'm holding on to hope for it. It is what it is.
Speaking of hope,
Auntie.
Do y'all think Ye's gonna drop anything this year?
I
I don't
hope
need.
so.
I don't need Ye dropping anything.
I want him
need
to.
Ye.
Opinion.
I
I
need
want
Ye to go.
Look,
Huh?
this could be a whole episode in and of itself that we probably need to do because one of my most favorite creatives, producers, and artists of all time is Kanye Omari West, now
You
known
didn't
as
use a full government.
now he says a ton of things that he doesn't need to say. And I don't agree with some of the opinions and things that he states. So let me get that out there. Right. I am not a part of cancel culture, however. I take everything on a case by case basis. And I do think that he definitely deserved consequences and rightfully so for the things that he said and how he went about it. I firmly stand by that. I also care about the man musically and what his music and art has actually done for me in my life, though. And I really do value his works. And I am able to separate his works from him because it's not like he's putting out, you know what I'm saying, Mein Kampf as an album. I would think that he wouldn't be stupid enough to do something that egregious. If he's going to make an album, it's going to be a musical album comprised of his feelings, his life, and the typical works that he does. Meaning, like, I don't have to be thinking about, you know what I'm saying, whatever works he put off, like how it's connected to other, like it won't have a connection. So I could actually just appreciate the art for the art.
Yeah. I would like for him to come out with something, but I need him to take some time.
He been taking time though. He been silent, bro. Like
for the last 5-6 months. Like
that's a lot of time for him.
I want to say that's a lot of time, bro.
That's a lot of time.
I know. Yeah, he needs more time. He needs more time.
I agree, but like, I still want some.
Actually, it may have actually been shorter than that because the whole thing with Drink Champs, I think, was like December.
Nah, before December.
It's early since November.
It's been at least 3 months.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But it's not. It's bottom line. I don't. We need at least a year of just him being away because I don't think you're gonna be able to do anything. He's
everybody don't
run for president.
I hope not. I don't think he would get accepted at this point in the slightest.
No, I mean, yeah, but they can't stop him from running. That's the problem.
Well, of course.
When you're doing all that, my point is like, just I want old Kanye back in terms of like musically, right? So I think it would take some time for him to be away from the spotlight to going and do something like that. Like take some time. Huh?
You need Down the West for that to happen. It hurts.
Yeah, no, for sure. For sure.
For him to be old.
Well, I actually think what he did with what was that, Donda 2? I actually thought that was good too. But I sonically it was amazing. But he just needs some time away, man. I would like for him to take an Adele break.
He got the heartbreak for it now, so it's possible.
Take that Adele break. Let him.
But he's also been looking,
take a couple years.
He's also been looking really good lately. Like when people like catch him out, like he seems happy, he seems light, he looks good. So from the outside looking in, it looks like he's definitely in a better space. So I'm interested to see what that would look like musically for him.
It'd be nice.
I'm actually genuinely curious, and this is probably something we can address on Everyday Genius, but I'm curious on like how bipolar medication actually affects you. Because there are a few people that I know who have bipolarism that they don't like taking their meds.
He says that all the time. I'm not taking my meds.
Well, yeah, like he says that, but I know people personally that's like, yo, I meet people like they don't like taking the medicine. So I'm actually curious what it does to you and why like people don't like taking the medicine. And I only say that to say, in regard to like what we could expect from him when you got this high profile person that's like tapped in with fashion, tapped in with music, tapped in like creatively on a number of fronts. And even if he went off the complete deep end, like you can't deny the classics and everything he gave us before. You know, it's like, what could we expect and why did you make this turn? You know, could you even turn back? Like, is this something that could be helped by medicine or is it just what it is? And I think that's the one thing everybody's trying to figure out, and we don't know how to get that answer.
So, do me a favor. Whatever friend you have that's bipolar, book them for Everyday Genius.
No. Oh my God, no.
Okay. All right.
No.
Well, maybe a
Sorry, I forgot we
doctor.
was on the show. Yeah, I was about to.
Yeah.
That's not, for my sake, that's not even safe.
Yeah. All right. Well, what are you looking forward to this year, though?
Smino, Conway the Machine, won't he do it? Larry June, Alchemist, they dropping the greatest.
Yeah.
Those will be good.
I'm pretty sure NBA YoungBoy's gonna drop another album. It's one of my favorites, one of the youngins. He drops an album like every 3 months for whatever reason. I know you don't like him, but bro,
I've never listened to him.
Oh, so early YoungBoy, listen to. Middle of the road YoungBoy like 2 years ago, throw it in the trash. He got like, you remember when Nelly made that song with Tim McGraw? Exactly. So now that like YoungBoy is back to like gangster stuff, it's like, all right, cool, you back again. Like,
wait, hold up, let me ask you something. Did you just compare YoungBoy to Nelly?
Bro, if you heard that album, don't generalize it like I'm like comparing YoungBoy to Nelly like on talent. I'm saying when Nelly made that All in My Head with Tim McGraw, we're like,
that was good though.
It was
that was a catchy song. That was a catchy song.
It was catchy, bro. YoungBoy makes catchy music. He makes.
I have yet to be caught by it. I have missed all of the catching.
Yeah.
Yo, like what YoungBoy have you listened to?
I'm Nelson Aguilar out there. I ain't caught nothing.
Oh my God. I'm kind of shook right now. Like, make no sense.
How is that more egregious than what you said about Baby King?
I was gonna say the way you feel right now is how we just felt about Baby King.
I don't get it, bro.
The difference is people actually like YoungBoy, and he consistently puts out likable work. Baby King and people got on because he's Kendrick's cousin, and
don't do that. Don't do that. People actually like King, bro.
Yeah,
people actually like
people
King.
like Meth too, and.
But have Baby Keem and NBA YoungBoy been putting out music for the same amount of time, or would you say that Baby Keem is a little bit newer to the game than what NBA is?
Oh, way newer. NBA's on like 10 or 11 albums at least.
Right. So we got to give Baby Keem time before we, you know what I mean?
Oh no, that's valid. That's valid. I'm just saying, like, of the youngins, you know what I mean? Like, and the reason I say youngins with YoungBoy because YoungBoy puts out music akin to like how Lil Wayne was putting out music in like the late 2000s, early 2010s. Like he just puts out. Stop it. I'm not comparing Lil Wayne and stop doing that.
I'm asking lyrically. I mean, lyrically,
he's saying as far as like putting out music, he puts out music frequently, like Wayne.
Okay, the frequency.
I literally said that.
I'm just trying to make sure. Because like of the young generation, like when you're listening to them, are you listening to them for energy? Are you listening to them for lyrics? Are you listening to them for just beat selection? What are you listening to young ones for?
Both. Like sonically, there are a lot of things that come into play. For folks who are still getting new to me, I love metaphors. I think they can explain things better than I can sometimes. I treat music like I treat food. There are a lot of different foods that you like. They're prepared differently, they season differently, but good is good. Right? You don't make a hamburger like you make a cake. They have completely different flavor profiles. You like them both. That's how I treat like a lot of these young cats. Like, what are you bringing? And is your overall product something that's like actually good or enjoyable? Like I don't expect it to have like all these complex flavors all the time. But if it's good, it's good. So like when I heard Baby Keem, I didn't like his flow. I didn't like his vocals over top of the beats. And I think that the beats overpower him. When I hear Young Boy has a lot of energy. He drives the production. And I mean, he comes like when I say like comes with the energy, like that's why he's really good in the gym. He is like high powered, but not like it's just like he crunk the whole time. Like even it's like sappy songs is kind of crunk.
So compare Young Boy versus Jid then, because Jid to me,
no, that's so different, so different. Jid is a lyricist, and his flow is like ridiculous. Young Boy
but
will
he
be
has
like
everything you just talked about, like the lyrics, the beat selection, the flow.
but that's why I said like I compared it to the food, right? Because it's a completely different product. Jid will be like, let me see.
Charcuterie board. I'm just joking.
No, actually, that's a really dope thing.
Yes.
Because like with Jid, you get a selection of like a lot of things, but the presentation is like so dope. I only think like Jid's main issue is because of like how complex it can be at times. It's something that doesn't just work for every day. Like everybody's not eating charcuterie every day.
Right.
Like you just not. Like it is a special occasion. So like Jid can drop an album and you like, yo, this is cold, but like, you know, it might be like akin to like a Lupe or something. Like it's just that complex. So sometimes you have to take like a breather from it. Like NBA Youngboy, he's like, no disrespect, bro. NBA Youngboy is like a large fry and a 6-piece nugget from McDonald's.
Call it can't like, eat that every day.
He said, "Who?"
I don't. But you know what I'm saying? Like growing up, if you can have McDonald's every day,
right?
Yeah,
would. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, as a kid, yeah, but long term, it's not good for you.
Of course, bro. Long term, NBA ain't good for me. I don't listen to him every day. Like I gotta take a break because, bro, NBA Youngboy had me on the same mode like when you first listened to like Ellenwood area. Like when you first heard that Crime Mob album here, like bro, what? Okay. I'm like, I wish somebody would. Mm-hmm. That's how I feel listening to Youngboy. Okay, it's not a safe thing, bro.
Like, okay, all right. Take a break. Okay, I feel that.
That's fair.
I feel that.
Yeah, so you listen to him, you'll be like, I feel this. This is like, I'm pretty sure John Jones listened to NBA Youngboy before he fought last weekend.
I don't know what he listened to, but that boy was hype, man. Look,
choked him out to death.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think that wraps it up in terms of what we had for today. But
let me throw this out there. I want to hear that new Boosie album too. I'm gonna definitely listen to that Cali. I don't know how to say her last name. That Cali.
Yeah, the like Red Moon Venus under the something. Yeah, I hear it's really good.
Yeah. Oh, and
wait,
one more
what is
artist.
That? That's an artist?
Yeah, she's
R&B. Red Moon in Venus is what it's called.
So Kali, Kali, last name Uchis. She makes very, very beautiful. Like she's on the precipice of like neo soul R&B, but she incorporates her Mexican heritage into it, like hardcore.
Oh,
it's a really dope blend. So like, one song you might actually really enjoy is called Telepatia, and like when she sings it, she goes like seamlessly between English and Spanish, but it's like over this beat that you could almost hear like, you know what I'm saying, like Badu vibe over.
Oh, I'm gonna listen to that. I'll listen to that while I'm editing it.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Lastly, Leia. I will be remiss if I did not say Leia or Leia, however you want to pronounce it. Also another Mexican R&B artist who is a fire singer, has dope vocals, like crazy visuals. Is almost like a Mexican like Missy Elliott. And one of her like breakout hits was Sailor Moon, and it was super dope because I'm an anime nerd. But then she made a 2.0 version of it, and it went from like this really like soulful, smooth, like sultry, poetic justice type track to the 2.0 version, which was like straight house. And being born and bred from the Midwest, from Michigan, you know what I'm saying? Birthplace of house is like, yeah, I said to Chicago. You know, it's crazy how she made like that flip. But she has so many other tracks that are like just dope. And I'm really hoping she drops this year.
Okay. I'll check out. Text me that, please, because I'm not gonna remember. But yeah, but I think that wraps up with topics for the day. But before we wrap it up, something I neglected to address at the beginning of the show. For any of you guys that are watching this or listening, if you follow OTS on social media, you've noticed, excuse me, a couple weeks ago we announced that Pass the Aux is no longer. We are deciding to combine Pass the Aux with Fanz. And so he's not with us today, but Dwayne is, he will be, with us as well. And just the four of us will be the new judges on the Fanz battles. So you're still gonna get a little bit of what Past Aux was mixed with Fanz. Some episodes you might just see a couple of us. Some episodes you might see all of us. But we're gonna still bring in those Past Aux vibes onto the show. But Fanz has a aspect of it that actually allows us to do more and have a broader range, including the battles. So, we have a lot of stuff that we're going to start bringing to you guys. The first battle will be coming to you all very soon. We just need to discuss what that battle will be. I recorded the sideline guys with Bobby Winborn last night, and sound like he wants to jump in on a battle. So I'm not sure. I think he told me who he wanted to go as, but I forgot who it was. But maybe we'll see Bobby battle someone pretty soon. So, we're gonna give you guys some time. We're gonna build it up toward the battle. So as the build up toward the battle comes, each contestant will come onto the show, and we're gonna put them through the ringer as to why they are a fan of this particular artist. So, be on the lookout for that. And we're gonna come out with a lot more stuff for you guys pretty soon this year. So definitely be on the lookout for that.
I want to throw the pressure on you, increasingly more than ever.
I got
because I've been saying this for 2 years. Wale and J. Cole need a battle. I've been ducking you.
You've been
ducking. I've been ready,
bruh.
Bro, we can make a playlist tonight.
What bruh, I already look. I already all I needed to know was who my opponent was going to be.
That's good.
Show me my opponent.
I mean, look, which one of y'all want to come in second place? That's all I need to know.
I guess it's you. All I'm saying is, I done seen technically Wale officially more times in concert than J. Cole now as of last year. Wale has officially surpassed J. Cole for 3 times to J. Cole's 2.
Okay.
I'm a fan of both, so you're going to
I'm
lose.
a fan of both too. But I'm gonna make you lose.
You're like a fan of Wale, but you're like a propeller for J. Cole.
I'm a fan of both. J. Cole is my favorite artist of all time, though.
Yeah, a propeller is a fan. Just a really big one.
I'm just.
See what you did there?
That was good. That went over my head.
I see it.
That was good.
I'm on fire. Bang, bang.
But yeah, I got some stuff I can knock you out with.
All right.
We'll do it. So if you want to do Cole Wale,
hey, let's make it happen, Cap.
I'm with it.
All right, so we got Janean as a judge. It's lit. Dwayne as a judge. It's lit.
We'll have to find someone else to replace us because you and I can't be a host and judge. I mean, contestants and judge.
we can talk about more, of this
So we'll discuss it.
air.
We'll discuss
You know
it.
what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I don't want the
This is
fans.
like the face off before a boxing match. This is hilarious.
Well, I'm he probably won't admit it, but he's scared because he already knows I got the heavy shots. So it is what it is. But yeah, let's go ahead and wrap this thing up and give them everybody your socials. Let's
Oh, well, you can find me
ladies
on
first.
Instagram. You can find me on Instagram at Nina Soul, Nina with 2 I's, Soul like the sun in Spanish. So NIINASOL.
You can find me on Instagram, and it's the same as Twitter. At the number 1, as in literally the numeral 1. Chris, CHRIS, Rob, ROB, as in boy. Y'all gonna have to maybe make my profile public in a second if y'all start following me.
All right. Yeah. You can follow me at Derrick_OTS. That's DERRICK, the black way to spell it. But preferably, you knew that was coming.
Oh, shoot.
I prefer if you follow the brand. So it's at OTS Media Co. All social media platforms. OTS Media on YouTube. If you have not done so yet, hit that like button, subscribe, and the notification bell. Get updates on when we post new content. And for anybody that's actually on it, fan base. I'm not sure if anybody's on fan base, but maybe we might be doing some stuff on there pretty soon too. So please follow OTS on there at OTS Media Co. Just give us a shout out, follow, let us know what you guys think. Any topics that you want to hear us discuss, hit us up, let us know. But also if you have any suggestions for any battles that you want to see, please let us know. Please let us know, because Fanz is driven by the fans. So please definitely let us know what you guys think, and we will catch you guys next time. Peace.
All right. Take care.
Bye.